Hello everyone. I Assistant Professor Pragati Shetty from Department of Microbiology. Today we are going to learn the synthesis of nanoparticles in detail with the help of one example. In the last online class, in the last online lecture, we saw the synthesis of nanoparticles with the various type of examples using the bacteria, using the fungi. In this class, we will see the synthesis of nanoparticles using this species, Verticillium species. So Verticillium species basically able to produce the silver nanoparticles intracellularly. This Verticillium species has a series of process that we will see now in detail. So now starting with the extraction of this species can be from the Taurus plant, and then it is placed in a potato dextrose agar at the conditions 25 degrees Celsius, and then the fungus should be grown in the Erlenmeyer flask containing the MGYP medium at the 25 degrees Celsius. This MGYP medium is composed of the 3% malt extract plus 1% glucose extract and plus 0.3% yeast extract, including 0.5% peptone. And so these ingredients are very much essential for the growth and for preservance of this species, and therefore we must inoculate and we must store this species in the MGYP medium in the Erlenmeyer flask at the 25 degrees Celsius. We have to keep this species in this media at the shaker conditions for 4 days. After the 4 days, after this fermentation process, the mycelia separated from the culture broth using the centrifugation conditions are the 10 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Then after the centrifugation, the culture, the mass is washed in the water. After that, the harvested mycelia, after this we harvest the mycelial mass, and that should be exposed to our silver solution, that is the AgNO3 solution, through which we are going to check whether the species is able to synthesize the silver particles or not. So we must have to expose the substrate in this process is the AgNO3 solution. So we are exposing the AgNO3 solution of the 5.5 to 6 pH in the same Erlenmeyer flask. Again we have to keep this exposure for 3 days on the shaker condition at the 28 degrees Celsius. After this, the mycelial mask is fixed in the glutaraldehyde. This glutaraldehyde is used to preserve our mycelial mask that we harvested, and now this mask in distilled water by maintaining at the room temperature for the 2 hours. After 2 hours in the glutaraldehyde medium, we will centrifuge this mass which was exposed to the AgNO3 solution. After this, we will get the cell sediment which is rich in the silver nanoparticle. See, when we are keeping our mycelial mass which was exposed to the AgNO3 solution in the glutaraldehyde medium, we are giving the time to the Verticillium species to synthesize the silver nanoparticles intracellularly, and therefore after centrifugation process we will get the cell sediment which is very rich in the silver nanoparticle, which should be our product. So now how we will identify or we will confirm that yes, this species has been produced the silver nanoparticles. So we will observe for the color change from the initial yellow color to final brown color. So if we observe the brown color on our cell sediment mass, then we can say that there is the production for the silver nanoparticles by our Verticillium species. So we will look for the biomass color change from the yellow color to the brown color. which indicate the silver nanoparticle production by the verticillium species. After this, the nanoparticles can be recovered, can be obtained, or can be separated by washing with the simply washing with some suitable detergent or the ultrasonification. So this is the simple process of the synthesis of the nanoparticles using the verticillium species. Now the point to be noted in this, as we all know, the silver is the antibacterial and it can kill the microbes, but the verticillium species does not die even when exposed to the AgNO3 solution, and therefore we are using this species for synthesis of the silver nanoparticles. And now if we placed, we can check the another method, we can use the another method for checking the synthesis of these particles simply by inoculating or by adding some amount of the AgNO3 solution in a media, and then we will inoculate this species, and if our species is able to synthesize, then the colonies will appear. So this is another way for checking the synthesis of the nanoparticles. We will repeat the synthesis of the nanoparticles using the verticillium species once again. First, what we have to do, we have to extract the verticillium species from the torus plant, and we have to place it in the potato dextrose agar at the 25 degrees Celsius. Now next step is the fungus should be grown only in the Erlenmeyer flask, which is very much essential for its growth, which is containing the MGYP medium. This is very important medium, and the components of this medium are 3% malt extract, 1% glucose extract, 0.3% yeast extract, plus 0.5% peptone extract. We will use this media, MGYP media, and then we will keep this process at the 25 degrees Celsius. After this, we will keep the fungus in this Erlenmeyer flask for the 4 days at the shaker conditions. Conditions are very much important in this process of synthesis. Next step, after 4 days, mycelia separates from the culture broth using the centrifugation process. The centrifugation should be carried out at the 10 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. After centrifugation, the mass is washed in water, and then the mycelia must be harvested. Now the harvested mycelial mass is exposed to the AgNO3 solution. Now as we are doing this, we are carrying out this process for synthesis for the silver nanoparticles. So our substrate is AgNO3 solution in this process. So we will expose our mycelial harvested mass to this solution having the pH 5.5 to 6 pH in the same Erlenmeyer flask, so that our species, verticillium species, is able to now synthesize this AgNO3 and produce the silver nanoparticles intracellularly. In this also the conditions are 3 days, 28 degrees Celsius shaker conditions. Now the mask is fixed in the glutaraldehyde medium. We are giving time for the interaction between the species and this silver substrate, that is the AgNO3 solution, for carrying out its nanoparticle synthesis process. Now the mass is fixed in the glutaraldehyde media in the distilled water by maintaining at the RT at room temperature for 2 hours. After the 2 hours, the centrifugation process will be carried out, and the centrifugation, what we will get? We will get the cell sediment, which is very rich in the silver nanoparticles, which is our product. So after this, we will observe for the silver nanoparticles production. Now how we will observe? We will observe for the color change. The initial color is yellow. Now we will observe for the brown coloration. So if the mass coloration, if the biomass color has been changed from the yellow to the final brown color, we can say that the verticillium has been produced the silver nanoparticles intracellularly. After this, the silver nanoparticles can be separated, can be recovered by washing with the suitable detergent or the processes such as the ultrasonification. Now, one important point to be noted in this process is verticillium does not die even if the exposed to the AgNO3 solution. This property is not present in every species, and therefore this is very unique property present in the verticillium. Hence we are using this species for the silver nanoparticle synthesis. Now I will tell you the mechanism inside the verticillium species. In the last online lecture, we saw some 4 mechanisms of the microbe metal interaction, and one of them was the electrostatic interaction forces. So this mechanism is used by the verticillium species. Verticillium species contains the negatively charged carboxylic groups in the enzymes which are present in the cell walls of the mycelium of this verticillium. So how is the process taking place inside the verticillium? The enzymes, certain enzymes are present in the cell walls of the mycelia of this fungi, that is verticillium. This enzyme is carrying the negatively charged carboxylic groups, due to which it will opt for the electrostatic interaction, and therefore due to electrostatic interaction it will binds to the positively charged silver ions, and therefore this silver ion will get trapped on the surface of this fungal cells. Then after this the nucleation of ion will takes place, and therefore the accumulation of the silver ions will be carried out to produce the silver nanoparticles. I hope you understood the intracellular process of how verticillium is producing the silver nanoparticles. This species is using one of the 4 mechanisms which I have mentioned in the earlier lecture, which one of them was the electrostatic interaction. So the verticillium species contains certain enzymes which is present in the cell walls of its mycelia. This enzyme has the negatively charged carboxylic groups which will attract the positively charged silver ions, and therefore between these two the electrostatic interaction happened, and therefore the silver ions will get trapped on the surface of the fungal cells. Once they get trapped on the surface of these fungal cells, the nucleation of the silver ions will take place, and therefore due to nucleation the silver ion will accumulate and therefore will produce the silver nanoparticles. So this is the intracellular synthesis, which means when we are exposing the mycelia with the AgNO3 solution. This process is carrying out in the verticillium species for synthesizing the silver nanoparticles. And in the similar way, the verticillium species is also able to synthesize to produce the gold nanoparticles also. And as we saw the color change from yellow to the brown for silver nanoparticles, right? In the gold nanoparticles we will observe for color change from pink to blue color. These are the two main difference for synthesis of the silver and the gold. In the similar way, the way in which the verticillium synthesized the silver nanoparticles, this flow sheet, in the same way the verticillium will synthesize the gold nanoparticles. Only one little difference is what? In the silver nanoparticles we are observing for color change from yellow to brown. In the gold particle synthesis we will observe the color change for pink to the blue color. So if the blue color is present in the biomass, we can say that gold nanoparticles has been synthesized by the verticillium species. Alright, now we will move to the next topic. Next is the semiconductor nanoparticles. So as we all know, what are the semiconductors? The semiconductors can be called as the insulators, or these are the materials which have the conductivity between the conductors such as the metals and the non-conductors such as the ceramics, and therefore they are called as the semiconductors. As the name say, they have conductivity between the conductor and the non-conductors. The semiconductors play a very important role in the most various fields. They can be used as the insulators at the low temperatures and conductors at the high temperatures. This semiconductors nanoparticle, now the semiconductor nanoparticles can be synthesized using the microbes. Now the semiconductor nanoparticles such as the CDS, cadmium sulfide, zinc sulfide, and more like this semiconductor nanoparticles, these are the examples for the same. Now this semiconductor nanoparticles can produced using the different microbes. Now one bacteria family is majorly used for this process, namely Desulfobacteriaceae. This family of bacteria can produce the semiconductor nanoparticles having the size 2 to 5 nanometer and produces the zinc sulfide nanoparticles. Now the next, in the semiconductor nanoparticles, one example is the Klebsiella pneumoniae. We all know the Klebsiella pneumoniae organism, bacteria. This bacteria is also able to produce the cadmium sulfide semiconductor nanoparticles. Now if this cadmium salt is exposed or is mixed with the bacteria which is Klebsiella pneumoniae, and we will keep this mixture for for 1 day at the shaker at 37 degrees Celsius. Now what we will observe, the cadmium sulfide nanoparticles will be synthesized, which is having the size ranging from 5 to 200 nanometers. So this is the one example for the synthesis of the semiconductor nanoparticle using the microbe. The examples are Klebsiella pneumoniae. The second one is the Candida glabrata and the Schizosaccharomyces pombe. These are the two different examples for synthesizing the CDS semiconductor nanoparticles. So this was about the semiconductor nanoparticles. So in this lecture we saw mainly the synthesis of nanoparticles using the verticillium species. We saw the step-by-step process of this synthesis. After this we saw the intracellular mechanism, intracellular process of the verticillium species, which was the electrostatic interaction. And then after we saw the gold nanoparticle synthesis, which is the similar way the synthesizing the silver nanoparticle. In the similar way the gold nanoparticles can also be synthesized. Only one difference is what, we in the gold particles we will observe for color change from pink coloration to the blue coloration, and in the silver we are observing for yellow coloration to the brown coloration. Then after this we saw the semiconductor nanoparticles, then the microbes which are able to produce this semiconductor nanoparticles. The one majorly used family was Desulfobacteriaceae, second is the Klebsiella pneumoniae, and the third is Candida glabrata, and the fourth is the Schizosaccharomyces pombe. So these are the some examples of this semiconductor nanoparticle synthesizing microbes. I hope you understood today's online lecture. If you have any query, any doubt about today's lecture, please ask in the comment section. Thank you.